Hello. Hope you all are doing well. I'm just taking a moment to get set up. But I guess I can give you something to look at while I do that, huh? There you go. You can check out our scene from yesterday. Hi, a likable paper. How are you doing today? Okay, I think I'm all set up to go now. Eating. Is that like an Italian food? I'm not sure how to pronounce it really. My mind is saying pozole. Is that anywhere close to the ballpark of correct? Hiya, Jojo. How are you doing? I hear you got some art to show me. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I kind of said it correctly. Okay, so pozole. Let me Google that. I don't actually know what that is. Maybe I'm saying an incredibly dirty word and I have no idea. I'm realizing how easily I could be fooled into pronouncing something. It's probably a curse word in another language. Oh, but that looks so good though. That could. Oh, that looks nice. That looks like a hearty soup. Yeah, just to show y'all what I'm seeing when I'm Googling this. That looks delightful. All right, I guess I should get started. So I've done a few things off camera, not the things I said I was going to do, but things that will help us regardless. I got the. Oh, I accidentally clicked the depth of field, didn't I? Ah, whatever. We're not going to be rendering the final through this anyway. I'll just do that to fix it for now. I set aside some of the cat and separated it into parts in another file that we can import. I've done a little bit of filling out some of the smaller details of the scene, a few bottles, books, wine glass, and stuff like that, and some cobweb and hanging herbs. Now, the reason I'm going to leave this as plain as it is and this as empty as it is because I think I want to make a particle emitter act as the foliage for the plants to help them look less rigid in the scene once we get it over to Blender. So I'm going to leave these two alone. Other things that we can do today before we move this over to Blender are filling in some of the details and actually sculpting up some more of the furniture. Like this chair and table are very plain right now. Doing maybe a bit of paint job to the rug and sculpting and texturing. It's kind of voxel painting, some texture onto the wall and the fireplace. And then I think we'll be good to export. And with all that said, let's jump back into our model view. And I don't know, how do we want to like put a gate in our fireplace? Where's my fireplace colors? I'm going to look at a couple of references for what fireplace kind of colors and stuff could look like real quick before I really lay into this. I'm going to hopefully have everything be very non-destructive. When we get it over to Blender, we can keep changing colors of things, but important to get that feel before I pull it over. So in my references tab, a lot of them look kind of marbly or black, like cast iron black, which might be the goal here. It would unify it with the windows a little bit better. I'll just copy that color over for starters into our fireplace slot. And that seems to do some of the trick. And then maybe in the picture frame, this one could have a separate, more separating color frame. Something a bit more silvery, just to keep it set apart from our fireplace. I don't want it to get lost. This does bring the cobweb a bit forward. I like to see that. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay. Let me get another color for our fireplace. Turn the mirror on, and let's make a little grate. Do I want to have that be a separate object? I suppose I could. Then we could kind of open the doors of it and then show the fire inside. You never asked me, but have I done like Blender animations? I have done a few short animations using Blender as like a tool, not like necessarily through there. I've used it as many things. I always use Blender kind of as a tool and not the be all end all. So I haven't done many things that are like start to finish Blender animations, but I've used it for everything from like video editing to cleaning up frames that I've exported from like from a MagicaVoxel animation or from Big Bang or things like that for post-processing. Are there like kinds of Blender animations that you would like to see? Attach a little box here. Do I have enough to make it? Yeah, I think that's fine if it ends there-ish. So we have a little grate going on. Maybe I can add another little bit of detail across that, top and bottom. And copy that color over to here. And paint. Just a little bit of drop shadow. Cool. And I'll grab both of those colors, cut it out of that object, add a new object, and paste it in. Ah, not that one, that one. Okay. Scale that to fit and bring it in. I think I would like to animate more if I had an idea of the kind of stories I want to tell. But I don't think I'm much of a storyteller. I guess I kind of like being a handyman artist. I like to build the scene, right? To be kind of ready for a lot of different creative tasks, but I don't really have I don't have many things like OCs or comic ideas or game ideas of my own. I know many people where their well of inspiration for that is very overflowing. Me, I get obsessed with techniques, materials, mediums, but never people or stories. I should separate that into two objects. Yeah, I should do that. Okay. And I'll just grab the selection tool and remove that half. Scale it to fit. Give us a little bit of wiggle room for a handle, perhaps. And kind of like that. Maybe it should be higher up. Good to know, actually. Yeah, I kind of wish that I had more gumption to animate because there's some animation techniques and stuff that I love and would love to try, but I'm not attached enough to any particular story or joke or any kind of scene in which I would want to actually do the labor to animate it. It's a commitment. And give this guy a little flippity doodah. Nope, not that way. This way? Yes. And I'll make sure that these are both in the, what's our fireplace group? It's purple. It's also labeled in all caps. Boy, I should read. Maybe that'll come later, but you do sound like an excellent collab person then. Yeah. Would love to collab. Okay. Give that a save. Got our little fireplace grate. And I might actually tuck these onto another thing and hide them for a second. Great. And hide them. That way I can put a little bit of fireplace log and stuff going on in the inside here. So let's get that set up. And I think it shouldn't be any bigger than that. Yep. Maybe I'll just make like one log. And the, like, that little three-pronged thing that holds up fireplace logs. And a bit of ash pile at the bottom. And then we can do fire particles, perhaps, when we get to Blender. And then also, when we get there, everything is limited to voxel space in here. But within Blender, we can do the rotations, right, of like the book, fireplace logs, the anatomy and positioning of our cat. So just one log for now so that we can have some funky rotations when we get it all imported. So we'll start with a little log. On the X and Y. No, just the X probably. And a little bit of a color that we can cap the ends off with. Like that. And we can round it off. All right, I'll do this just so I can do that. Okay. Is that big enough? Yep. For now. Grab the object, then move the object. I can do that. Okay. And I could grab the fireplace color again, but I'm going to try not to. I am giving myself a bit of worry about the amount of colors I'm going to pull in and how that's going to behave later. But that's a later problem. Is that about right? And then add like that. That's how they look, right? I think that's how they look. I don't even know what it's called, so I can't really look up a reference for it. Maybe I can lift it up a little bit more, at least. Just a little more height. That might be good. Is that too tall? Nah. And a little bit of ash. I'll just do this part messily by and turn off the mirror and make some destructive additions and subtractions here. Don't want anything too rigid looking. Yeah, it's a little bit too high though. I think that looks appropriately noisy. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, it's in the wrong way. Give myself a little heart attack. I feel like I just deleted everything I just did. Okay, you can now go back into the fireplace layer. All of you. All of you. Fireplace. Okay. We're going to do that in particubes. I guess we want to deal with the rug, which I've scaled up and now it's all covered in jaggies. So let's clean that a little bit first. Oh, another thing that I did while I was off stream, I finally fixed it so that I don't grab and move the window when I'm trying to color select. So let me test that a little bit with my, yeah, this one. Excellent. Excellent. We are color sampling all over the place. Delightful. I need to turn the furniture off to see this. And whatever the cat stuff is. Okay. All right. What is our rug gonna look like? Some kind of ornate pattern. I'm half tempted to use this as a reference and just redo the shape. It's only a simple shape for now. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Make a new red rug. I'll copy and paste this object, go down into the object, delete the face, add a shader circle. Circle is where? Shader. Shader. Sphere. Yes. There we are. Much cleaner. I'm still sensing a few jaggy bits, so I think that's probably scale related. I'll just pull this back down until it isn't so uneven. Oh, you're gonna fuss with me no matter what, huh? That's pretty close. That might be the closest that we get. Don't. Why do you make it sound like that, Jojo? You know exactly what you did. Scale this guy to fit and clean it up. Two, three, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. There we are. Nice and even. Okay. You are an innocent angel. I don't believe that even a little bit. Nope. If I paint shader, why is it not wanting to go further than that? Nope. Ugh. There you are. Is that even? Nope. Okay. One, two, three, four. 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. All right, and now do another round. What? Oh, not erase, paint. I kind of like this moon pattern, but it's not the goal here, so. Do I want to do a little pattern? Like across the... Let me quickly sketch something. A little flower. Some kind of filler here. Like that. Jump over to the render and I'll mess with some colors. That might be something enough for now. Just gonna even everything out. And finish the pattern. Just gonna copy everything from here and turn it around, I think, so I don't have to do this twice. Oh, did I make things unevenly? Oh no. Yeah, they're even on here and odd here. That's fine, I'll squish it in the other direction until it matches. On to voxels outward. Let me pull this pattern down a little. Hi, Zergling. How's it going? Oh, wrong color. Okay. No, I'm not trying to paint the whole face. There we are. Give that a little curve. I like that. It's going. Had a meeting you were dreading. It went better than expected. That's good to hear. I hope you are free of meetings for the day. Can I squeeze another flower into this? Is that going to look right if I do? It's hard to really convince anyone that this looks like a flower from this resolution, but you know, we do what we can. Now let's not make them into leaves. Okay, maybe it's good enough to flip for now. Okay, let me give the horizontal to be the same as the vertical. Let's make them nice and even, or odd actually in this case. Squish the box back down to match it, and grab our pattern and start flipping it. I might have to manually redraw it still, just given the nature of like the scale difference. But I can flip the top and bottom. Grab this, Control C, Control V, flip on whatever axis, this one. Pull it into place. I shouldn't have grabbed so much dead space. Hold on. This should make it easier to line back up. And flip, what was it, this way? Yep. There we are. Perfectly lined back up. And then we can just draw our little guy to match the pattern here. One, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, getting dangerously wide. Okay, this goes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down 2, 2, 1, 1, and 1. There we are. I guess this could be a little closer in. That's probably enough detail for now. Hi, I'm McJangleson. How's it going? How's the art going? It's going pretty good. We're getting just to the point where we can start texturing and detailing some of the funner stuff. Maybe shape this table and chair into something a bit more goth aesthetic. And what else can we do? We can paint a little details into the fireplace and little wood texture details. We can do some wallpaper print stuff here along the sides and some floor texture. Here's some floorboards. And I'll throw a few skulls in there. Let me go ahead and make that, actually. I guess I could do this on the furniture layer. How do I want to make a voxel skull? Okay. That can't be too hard. Making something that's a whole bunch of spheres with a whole bunch of squares. No problem. I don't think I want it to be that big anyway. 20, 20, 20, maybe. Yeah. And give me a skull color. Tough resolution, but that is still doable. I'm tempted to just do a sort of round cube thing instead. Let me try that real quick. Sculpt my way down. It does not need to be that high resolution. It doesn't give us a lot of detail left over to do anything with the face. Yeah, a little less on the sides. That should do it. Okay. Oh, it should be done on the odd, I guess. It's unlocking core memories from when you were a kid and playing with Lego skeletons. You really should try MagicaVoxel. Let me go ahead and plug that again in case anyone stumbles across this later. But the program I'm using is MagicaVoxel, and you can get it here. And I highly recommend it. It is very accessible. You can pretty much figure out the tools within like an hour. So if you're thinking about it, just go ahead and do it. Right, I should do this on an odd number like that. What? I'm only dragging it by one. There. Okay. Don't know why it was jumping by two. This is the best skull I've never done. Not terribly. But I'm getting used to the feel of this again, so. I'll stop showing the wireframe. I'm gonna go for now. All good. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for coming to hang out. Do I want to get more sculpted than that? I kind of don't think I do. Copy and paste that color. Maybe we can shade a little bit to help things along. wrong mirror. There we go. It's kind of cute. I can kind of emote with it a little bit. Don't want to imply too much emotion though. I'll keep him neutral. Should I paint the nose bridge a little? Nah. What about the top of the teeth? And the shadow under the nose. It's a little silly looking. Oh, I can make it a little bit taller, and I think that would do it. Maybe by that much. And add this color of face. Oh. Fill that back in. There. Can I squish him down in any other way, though? Like, if I just round it a little bit more. Grab, like, from here and pull that down by one. Or maybe I'll keep the eyes at that scale. And pull the whole thing down by one. Yes. And then I'll pull this inward by one. Just to even it out. Squish that back down. Okay. And I'll just paint this gap a little bit more. Is that about right? Or is that too much? Maybe I should just paint the whole underside of this. I think I like that. Okay. I need one more bone to go with it, though. Doesn't have to be too big. There. That should do it. And we'll put, like, I don't know, is it called a femur? One of these. Three. I guess it can go one further up. Yeah, that'll do. Maybe I can turn the mirror off and paint the little crack marks along the surface. Nah, it seems a bit too excessive. Now we can sculpt a little bit on these furnitures. I might just round them off a little and add a little bit of padding. Maybe the back of the chair should be a bit thicker than the padding, so let's do that. And what's our... Copy this color, paste it there, paint it there. I might be okay with that, like that. Give me a little sub color for the wood. Just to paint some extra layer of shadow on the legs. And maybe we can dip into the back. Should I round off the feet of the chair? I don't think I can get away with claw footing the chair, even though I think that'd be really cool. I guess I could try. And then if I made the heel of the chair. Now let me just use the subcolor. And then I'll just add the same layer of detail to the front. Oh, why did I do that? I guess that's fine though. Control B, that's what it was. Okay. So now we have a little clawfoot chair. They could maybe wrap around a little more. Maybe that looks a little more clawfooty. Let's mess with the table and start making it match. Should there be like a drapery across the top? Ooh, that needs to be fixed. It wasn't flush. Okay, it is now though, so our mirror should work. You just round it off a little bit. It's a little bit noisy, but not the worst thing in the world. Nope, I just wanted to paint it. Didn't want to do any of that. That might be kind of nice. Just test something out real quick. Maybe like a little drawer, you know? Does that kind of make the chair fight for legroom, or maybe we can get away with it? Maybe I'll just paint it on instead. How's that? It's coming along. I'm sensing the need for a cup of coffee and maybe a mouse to be on the table as well. Let's try it. Probably in our little cyan layer of extras. We can make a little coffee cup. Doesn't need to be bigger than that. It should be on this side though. Hold on. Okay. What's our like potted plant color? And for the next part, we don't need but one little bit of space for the handle. Give me a little bit more room here for that. Ta-da! Coffee cup. Can make it a little smaller even. Okay, and when I do that, I'll make it fit on a saucer or just straight on the table. Probably just straight on the table. This makes me want to have tea now. I've had too much though. Yes, I'm also feeling the need for caffeine. Take one last sip of my tea before it's all gone. And a little mouse, a computer mouse, because nobody uses a trackpad. Our scene's starting to look really full. Shouldn't be bigger than that. Give me the mouse color. We'll paint a little scroll wheel into there. Scale that to fit, and we're good to go. Now what do we need? I think I need to address this wallpaper eventually. Do I want to break down and do a wainscoting like along the bottom? I think it kind of divides it too much. I do want to have some kind of patterning going on. I'm going to jump into this and I will add a new object. Just copy and paste this guy and move him into here. And we have a copy of our wall. And I can then just paint the pattern that we had before, just to see how much it works or not. Oh, does it not work on that axis? Really? I guess not. Yep, I see it working on the right axis. Okay, delete that. And we'll test it with this one. It is admittedly quite big. Way too big for what I need. Can't wait to see it with lighting and stuff. Yeah, I know, we're getting there. We are so in the ballpark of there. I just have to finish texturing because it won't be possible for us to do it when it's in Blender. Feasibly. What is the scale that I want to use for it? All right, let me get this scaled down. I don't think it should be bigger than this. And this is 22. Okay. So I'm going to go into a new file. Save this. First, let's delete that object. Okay, save this. And make a new project. Same color palette. I'm going to say 20 by 20 by 20. And in that, I'm going to turn on the mirrors and paint a little pattern. Yeah, I like wallpaper. It's a cute little emote. And the cat keeps rolling, 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 rolling. Is that enough of a pattern? Let me try that at least. Copy and paste it and rotate that object so that I have one on each side to pull from. And I'll save this as wallpaper pattern small. And we can just open our little room and hopefully with a new object just pattern what we need. So many object lines to keep track of now. Maybe that'll be enough. We'll add pattern from our wallpaper pattern small, which is not oriented the way that I thought it would be. It's the scale that I want and not referencing multiple material or multiple objects within it. So that sucks. That's fine. We can do this wall for starters. It's off center though. Oh, I better know what's happening. That's closer. Now we can just start pasting. Make sure we're nice and even all the way down. Dang. Okay. Scoot the whole thing down. Just a few more. And grab this part of the pattern and pull it back up. Dang, he really wants to fight me. Maybe no one will notice. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's about even. And just duplicate that one more time. Goes all the way up to the edge there, but it might be enough to get away with. And now in the wall itself, make sure this color isn't being used elsewhere. Okay. Copy, paste, and drop that down. I'm going to just make a little bit of stripes. Nope. Not mirrored. Very importantly, not mirrored. Oh, it's very hard to do this part right. I kind of like that though. A little bit of extra stripe there. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay. Now to make sure I get this part right, I'm going to go ahead and union all of these pieces. Or I'll just union the two of them that are scaled apart the way that I want them to be. What? No, I didn't want to select all. There we go. Down into the object. Add enough room on the left and right to include the stripes we want to include. So the 2 space 1. Okay. And space 1, 2, space 1. I think that's our pattern. And then in that, we can just hide everything else. There, now we are mirrored perfectly. Nice. Nope, not what I was trying to grab. Just these ones. Okay. Same as before. And we can just grab our pattern pieces. Union. And copy and paste that. Flip it. And get this one into position. I don't want to frame the fireplace too closely. I'm trying to avoid tangents with it. Maybe I can put a little extra trim in the corner there so I don't have to see the way these two patterns join there. But that is for a little bit later. I'm missing a stripe on some of these. Where am I missing it? Here and here. I wonder how that happened. It's not too big a deal though. Now we can just combine these till they're nice and flat. And do the same here. And make that nice and flush. Perfect. Almost. Just need to correct a couple of inconsistencies. There we are. It's not like perfectly patterned, but we're only using it in this one render, so I don't terribly care. Oh, wrong mirror. Cleaning up that top bit. Good to go. I'm just going to make this nice and even across the sides. And that should make it match. Let's take a look. Ooh. It's a good bit of progress. I'm going to make the trim go along the outer rim of the walls. Like that. Yeah, that helps clean it up a little bit. What else can we do before we send it over? I guess this podium and this could have some more detailing done. So let's get it detailed. Not this one. This one. Jump into perspective and try to paint the face at the bottom there. That'll do. And as for you, we'll paint the interior shadow. And probably a little bit underneath. I don't think I need to mirror it on that axis for this part. Just this one. It kind of works. There we go. We have a little bit of wood texture, but nothing too crazy. And maybe the floorboards. Maybe I'll do a new object instead, actually. Give me just a moment. Scale that all the way back, all the way forward. Kind of like that, I guess. I think so. Copy and paste that. And pull the value just a little down. Oh, I'm trying to paint, not move. Maybe I shouldn't over texture this. I'm very tempted. That might be enough to get away with. I'll do that part at the end. For now, let me just delete all of those planks and copy our plank across. Ignore the Z fighting, it's part of the process. We're going to union them in a little bit. Z fight punch. Yeah. One more. No, I'm not trying to do anything there. I'm trying to grab. Thank you. I thought I could have some uneven gaps, but I think if I go that route, then I'm not going to be terribly flush on the other side. And this is almost a perfect fit if I do it this way. That said, I don't like this little spot here, so forget that. Forget what I said. Was that enough to get away with? Maybe? Just for a moment, I'm going to scooch these patterns so they're not all the same. There we go. Yeah, I'll leave that one the same. Now I can turn all of this back on. And just start adding things down. Oh, like that. Oh. Why is it not behaving now? I'm going to do this to make this easier for me to do. Grab all of these and union them to each other. And then I'll grab the floor and fill it in like that. Oh, I probably should fill that gap. That's fine. Paint just the part we see. And add in those gaps that we made. And there's our floor. Ooh, that wasn't too bad. See, nosy fighting. Now what else can we do? We can probably change a few of these books' colors for some variety. And this one should be a little bit different. And what else? Let's sculpt the fireplace a little more. What kind of details do I want to even put in it? I'm going to copy this over to here, FP2. And I'll just make this a bit more marble. No, it'll stay the same there. Okay. There we are. Oh goodness, what have I been painting if I've been on both mirrors? Uh-oh. That seems kind of nice. Hiya, Pixel Tuner. Looks good and spooky. Thanks. Yeah, we're making some progress. I think I'm just about ready after this fireplace. I keep telling myself that, but after this fireplace, I'm going to save everything, and maybe on tomorrow's stream, we'll pull this into Blender. I have got a shader that I really want to experiment with. I think it's going to be perfect for this. I've been working on it off and on since for a couple of months. I've been going back through some of my old voxel objects and trying to re-render them. And I've just been experimenting with this shader that can kind of have a nicer ambient occlude. and a little bit of toon shading. So it's nothing like crazy complicated. It's just new stuff to me, you know? Yes, you can export this, and you can, I prefer to do this with .vox, and then I use a voxel importer that is an add-on to Blender that you can get from, let me try to find the link for the one that I've got. There's a few of them you can pick through. For Blender. I'll try to remember specifically the one that I've been using lately. I'll try to find it by tomorrow in case you're around. I can't at a glance remember who it was specifically that made the add-on to post the link, but the version of the add-on that I like to use is pretty nice because I can separate all of these colors as like by their vertex and target them in color groups. And have just nice geometry on the way in. It cleans up everything so there's not a lot of squares hanging out inside of your mesh, making everything a nightmare. Yeah, I think this will have to stay flush because of the painting mounted onto it. But that's fine. Copy that and paste that there. I'll just paint a little bit of drop shadow. Ah, not what I'm trying to do. I guess I can show you the shader itself. That misclick was spoopy. Yeah. I give myself loads of little heart attacks. All right. I'm going to save this, and I'll at least open the blend file with the shader that we're going to be using. Which is just this here. This way we can grab the ambient occlusion, this soften out some of the edge work, and the rest of this is a toon shader that can use the colors. But yeah, you're gonna Blender on Friday. Awesome. I will be there, and I'll bring hopefully the finished room, but if not, then I'll just show off this little building and the shader that's tacked onto it. And yeah, I think I will wrap it there for today, as I've got to go to Costco and do some chores. But thank y'all for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. And soon, we'll see this in a nice little Blender render. I hope y'all have an excellent rest of your day. And yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow.